Everyone, this is Aisha, and I'm going to tell you about the books that you can study for dental materials. About the dental materials part, you should actually know that there are a lot of books, not a lot of books, but there are certain books that are available. But you have to be very choosy when you take a book, because when you just grab any book at all, there are a lot of problems, like the definitions are not of the standard which the big book will have and the teachers and the professors will recommend. The teachers do not like the small book definitions because those definitions are mostly not even up to the mark. So I've had a lot of trouble deciding what to study and where to study from. Anyways, the first thing about dental materials is get yourself a good book. I got two books. The first book that I got myself was this one, Dental Materials by Jo- uh, John J. Manapal. Manapal, I think, but we actually call this book JP because of this thing written under it over here, JP. I don't think it's quite focused. To focus it. So here. So this book is what I bought at first. So I started studying from this book, but my teacher didn't like the definitions in the book. He actually thought that the definitions are not up to the mark and the definitions need to be more precise. But the thing is, you need good definitions to impress the teachers. You need definitions from the big books, the books that the professors are reading themselves. So you actually have to get those books. The thing about dental materials by the basic dental materials by JP, the JP book, the thing is that this book has a lot of data. The book is formed, has these webs, and the book has this classification and extra knowledge that the other books do not really have. They have the concepts. Other books have the concepts and they have a lot of reading material, while basic dental materials is like you get something to cram and you cram it all. It has a lot of stuff, so but you are actually able to cram it all because it's given in bullet points, and that actually makes it quite easy for you to learn. But the definitions and the compositions, my teachers do not like the compositions in this book and they do not like the definitions. So I don't touch the book when it comes to compositions and definitions. I started off with this book, I did some chapters from this book, but now as I've just matured a little bit, so I've moved on from this book. I'm not touching this book a lot, but I keep it around. So if I want an answer, or I want to mark something, or I want to write definitions and compositions, or I want to correct definition and composition, I use this book. If I see a definition in the big book, if I see some extra knowledge in the big book, the concept in the big book, which I think I will forget, and sometimes I write it on the small book. But what I like, I'll tell you later what I do, what I prefer. Now, this is the book that I'd ask you all to buy. This is Phillips' Science of Dental Materials. This is the best book. This book is like, you'll love the book if you get it. And obviously, you have to get it because most of the teachers love this book. Most of the professors love it. This is actually a big book. Look at the size. This is the size of the book. I'm sorry about the paper though. I was making some notes, but this is the big book. So the thing about Phillips is that you get the concept, you get the correct compositions, you get the correct definitions. In the start of the book, in the start of each chapter, like you can take an example like impression materials, like this. So in the start, they have given all the key points, the key terms. The key terms are there to help you understand that these are the words that will be used in throughout the book, not throughout the book, but throughout the chapter, so you can actually understand those terms over here. And if you don't understand it there, you actually come back to the first page and you read these definitions again, or one of the definitions that you do not understand. So the concept is made over the understanding is done over here about the major terms, the key terms, and then you get the concept in the further chapter, the whole chapter. So this is actually easy that way. Then there's also the outline given in this chapter, whatever is in the chapter. So the impression materials in this book has just one chapter and everything is explained in this chapter. And in the basic dental materials, you'll get about 3 to 4 chapters. About each classification has another chapter. So this is about this book. What else do I like about this book? This book has a lot of stuff. This book has a lot of definitions. This book actually has a lot of concepts that we made in A level and O level, and those concepts are also explained in this book. Not that those concepts are related, and you actually try to make connect the dots, and you understand the terms more easily when it comes in. There's also a part critical question. When the critical question part comes in this book, this means that the coming paragraph or the coming topic will actually be covering that chapter, that question, the critical question, like the one given over here. So if this question is here, then the dimensional stability and the rest of the chapters, the rest of the part will actually be covering this question. But this makes you think about this question beforehand, so you have a better understanding of the chapter. The thing is that you need to study again and again. You cannot just read it once and then you're like good to go. No, you have to read it again and again, and then you make notes or something, and then you read it again, and then you cut out stuff which you don't really need and stuff like that, or you put in stuff in your notes which you actually need now. So this is it about this one. So I did gypsum products on here and I loved it. It was pretty easy in this one than any other book. I loved it. I got the concept, I got what I had to do. Everything is given in the best possible way. So I loved it. Anyways, the other thing that you need to do is get yourself, I have some of these here, I'll show you. I don't want to show the name of the teacher though. This is it. Wait. These are the printouts of my professor's lecture slides. So when I get the printouts of my professor's lecture slides, I make some of the notes. This helps me very well because I know what I have to study and what I'll be examined on. If this is a viva, the professor will most probably ask from his own notes, and what he wanted me to learn in the class, he'll be questioning from there. The other thing about the vivas is that the teacher mostly expects me to answer from Phillips. He won't be expecting me to answer from JP or any other book because my teachers at least do not like JP. Moving forward, there are other books which I go for. I don't actually go for another. There's another book, and that is a book of past papers, the UQs, the university questions. The paper questions that are repeated so many times, and the questions that actually come in the final professional, the second year professional. So they'll actually be helping me with making the concept of knowing what is more important to the examiner when it comes to written stuff. You can actually get the questions from your seniors, the past papers which were used the last year, so you can so you can actually get an idea what your professors at your very university are expecting you to know. So you pretty much get the whole idea, and then you study dental materials by that. The other thing that I'll highly recommend is get yourself a register, a notebook, specifically for this subject. What you do is you make notes in that book. Whatever you study from both of the books, you write it down in webs and classification webs and stuff like that. So you actually understand what the teacher or what you have studied from all the books. You have a summarized version with you, so it is very helpful when it comes to the final. So you can just read those parts and be happy about it. There's another thing that is available. I think it's available. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but there are classification charts available at some of the college bookshops. So what you can do is You go get that one of those. It's a big one. You can put it on your wall and you can read through it. Like first you get the classification from that chart, and then you have something in your mind and you get the basic concept of the chapter. So you know what the classification is and you get easy about it. So this is what most of the people I think are very find it very helpful. So that is one of the things. Anyways, this is it, and I think dental materials like this is very easy to do if you are able to do it like this. The next video that I'll be doing will be about the how to study pharmacology in dental materials. The books I'll be suggesting, which I use and which normally a lot of people are using. Thank you for watching this one.